Hello everyone, hope you're all doing well. Got another Crossout video for us today, guys. Now in today's video we are going to be going over the new Ajax Heavy Cabin that came into the game. I believe it came into the game yesterday. Basically it is a slightly heavier, slightly slower epic version of an overcab if you want to look at it that way. It's got really good characteristics for the most part. The perk itself is arguably overpowered on paper, at least. We don't really know yet, but you get a shield for 6 seconds. That's the entire point. You get a frontal shield like a Nova, similar to a Nova, for 6 seconds. For the first 2 seconds of that shield, you are completely invulnerable, like nothing can do damage to the shield, which I don't think is a very good idea. And then it's on 12-second cooldown, so it's on, you get it a third of the time, which is really quite good. The cabin also, one of the best things about the cabin is its, how do you say, its profile, I suppose. So basically, it's got a very wide bed, which is what you want, especially for a build like this, which means you can mount things under the cabin and still have room for frames. For example, on the build we've got Tritons on the 6 mounting points in the middle, and then we've got room for frames here, which is perfect. It's also got this, which is probably the strongest characteristic about the entire cab. Basically, it's got this very safe spot in between the cabin itself, which is perfect for either a generator or a jockey, which means you can put something here, put some armor behind it, and you never have to worry about that getting popped, unless you decide to take like a bath in incinerators for a good 5 or 10 seconds. You just don't have to worry about it. So that's the really cool thing about the cabin. And yeah, besides that, it's basically just like I said, a heavier Nova cabin. The shield works like so as you're driving, just to get a good idea. It'll spread out like this to cover pretty much most of the build, which is really quite nice. And like I said, the first 2 seconds of the shield, completely invulnerable. And as you can see, a 6 second shield, that is a huge amount of time in an actual fight, you know? Like a really huge amount of time. And yeah, that's basically what we're going to do, is just take this build out. I figured that when I was looking at the Ajax, considering they had that safe spot for the generator behind the cabin, like we showed, or inside the cabin, I suppose, and it had a really wide bed at the bottom, I figured it would be perfect on a low power score Triton dog. And I think this thing could be quite overpowered, to be honest, just because of how much build we can get for 10,000 power score. Because that's the best thing about the Ajax, is that, like I said, it's a slightly slower, slightly heavier Nova, but you get much less power score. It costs much less power score. The Nova is 2,100 power score. This is only 1,500, so we save a good 600 chunk, which means that on a 10,000 power score build, we can get an Ajax, 3 Tritons, legendary weapons, an Oyabun, 4 Titans, 4 Sabbaths, a 10-second cloak, 3 blue radiators, and 1 blue cooler, and 4,600 HP that goes 73 kilometers an hour. All of that for only 10,000 power score. So that's a lot of build and a lot of stats for only 10,000 power score, I think you will agree. And theoretically, at least, this thing could be incredibly strong, borderline overpowered. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to jump into the usual amount of PvP games now just to test it out, and I hope you all enjoy. Alright, first game in the new cabin, the Ajax. By the way, is a really good name for a cabin. I mean, if that doesn't sell packs, I don't know what will. Oh, first victim. Nice, nice and fast, okay. Do you need hit or shield? I'm waiting for my team to push around that corner, so actually I'm just gonna push the guy at the back left. Come on, team, push, 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 push. Let's see if they've got a radar, shall we? Hello. Oh my god! And there's me thinking that the 3 Tritons might not have been in. What? Like what? I haven't even used the shield. Okay. Okay, well, we know that the Tritons are cracked at this power score for sure. Jesus Christ. I didn't even need to pop my shield last round. We got 3 kills, basically, for free. That's probably one of the best things about the cabin itself, because It's like a Nova, obviously, because you get a shield, but it's tankier because it's a heavy cab. You get 2 less energy, of course, but on the Tritons, that doesn't really matter. And you have like much less power score. So I think the Nova's like 2400 or something, because it's a legendary medium. This is a epic heavy. Oh wait, yeah, I got shield. Got time to overheat. That was really smart. Good job, mate. Okay, how many people are we gonna push? I've still got like 4k HP. Oh no, 2k HP. Oh, I'm 4k HP. This build just tanked like 3 or 4 players that entire time. I still have half HP. I still have all my important stuff. Really? Okay, time for me to get revenge on this guy. Oh my god, this build might just be insane. Looks like someone finished off the hover we were attacking earlier on. Okay, this feels a bit... I know it's only been 2 games and all, but so far this thing feels incredibly strong. Like, I think the cabin is, and the Triton are to blame with this one, but the fact that we've... Like, the cabin itself's got really good mountain points. It's got the generator hole as well, so I just don't need to worry. Even though I've only got an Ampere, it's like 100 HP or whatever the hell it is. You don't need to worry about it. And it's got a really, like, wide bed at the bottom, so it's perfect for mounting, you know, Tritons and still attaching frames and stuff, so... That feels quite overpowered, but also the guns themselves feel overpowered as well. You're chasing me now. Hello, mate. I see you. Oh, no. Damn it. You really don't have to worry about life when you're on a fucking dog. Okay, there's one then. 6-second shield feels way too long. Thank you to you. I'll be curious if anything can kill us today. I have my doubts about it, to be honest. Ah, you lucky. And landed, thank you. After all, I was still got 1000 HP. Yeah, I honestly don't see anything killing us today. Second player is like a bit of an idiot, I think I still survived. I might have snookered myself with a build like this. Because I've made it, it's really good. I need to do a video on it. But it feels quite overpowered and very easy to use, which means that it might be popular, if that makes sense. But it's not entirely my fault. I kind of had to make this build just because the Ajax is perfect for a Triton dog. It really is. Just the what do you call it? Characteristics of the build, just perfect, to be honest. Jesus, 6 seconds is an eternity. Yeah, that needs to change. The first 2 seconds as well. First 2 seconds, you're invulnerable, which is really stupid. That's the worst thing about this. I don't like that at all. Nothing in Crossout should be invulnerable for any period of time, in my opinion. It's just a bad game mechanic. Oh, he's one too. Oh, man. I won't be a friend though, since he's on a dog. Like, what is he gonna do? Thank you, mate. Oh, hello. This is way too easy of a build. I could take the shield off, to be honest, and the thing would still be too strong too. Dude, that was ridiculously bad. What are you trying at? Oh, hello. Yeah, there we go. Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm going to do a small disclaimer here for the video. So when I record footage, I guess 6 games, because that seems like a decent period of time to test something out. But certain games, obviously, I won't show. Like, if my team just gets completely manhandled, I won't show the game. Or if it's just too easy, I won't show the game. If there's not good footage, for example, I don't show it, because it's just not worth it, in my opinion. We've played now 6 games in this build, 4 of which I'm keeping footage for. The other 2 that I'm not keeping footage for, the only reason I'm not showing them is because they were too quick and easy, and there was nothing really to show. That's it. Come here, mate. Oh, you poor soul. Look at 1,500. 2K in very little time. I'm even getting doomed in the back, and I don't really care. Hello. What? That guy just got sandwiched out of existence. What team I could do behind? How many people have I killed? 3? Yeah, this I'm gonna do 2 more games, but this build needs a nerf. I think the Tritons and the Ajax need a small nerf, both together. Because if you look at the last game, we were up against very good builds on very good players playing them. They clearly knew what they were doing, and it was just me for the most part, just kind of like on my own, kind of away from my team, and we still took 3 players with us. Now, could you imagine if there's 4 of these builds in the same group? How the hell are you ever going to kill that? Because even a good Doom player, how is he going to deal with 4 of these things, or 1 of these things one-on-one? Because we've got Titans and Sabbaths, so we're not vulnerable by any means. Ah, I thought that was flipped for a second. So yeah, because our wield aren't vulnerable, because Titans and Sabbaths. Our guns aren't vulnerable because Triton's buried underneath a cab. Our cabin isn't vulnerable because, 4,500 HP. This guy just duped me. No. That's 1 dead. How many can we just charge and kill? We got 1. 2? Can we just keep it going? That's a drone guy. I even forgot about my shield. This is gonna be 3. Pull up 3.5. And that's 4. Nice, mate. What the? Yeah, nerf this. Nerf. Please nerf. I'm not even trying here. This isn't you can say, oh, he's an experienced player. No. Alright, we'll do a couple more then. But just to clarify, if this build that I put up ends up catching on in popularity, I do apologize. I'm just in a bit of a, catch-22 situation. So obviously if a new cabin comes out, oh my god. If a new cabin comes out, naturally, I've got to do a video on it, and then, you know, what? Okay, I just frontal charged 2 people and lost 1,000 HP, that's it. Yeah, if a new cabin comes out, I've got to make a video on it naturally because, you know, YouTube. But on the other hand, my brain is in such a way that if I see a new cabin, I immediately think, alright, what would that be best on? And it turns out, yeah, it's just way too strong. I've just frontally charged 4 people and killed them. And I lost 1,500 HP. Alright, of course, lost gaming because this thing is busted. Okay. This needs a nerf immediately because the game is in a really good spot after the balance changes. Like, a lot of things are viable again, and I do not want this to just take over and ruin all of that good work, if I'm honest. I have loved Crossout the last week or so just because I've been able to run so many different things. But if this doesn't get nerfed, if builds like this don't get nerfed soon, you're just going to see them spammed. And then it's going to ruin creativity. Because why would you run anything else when you've got to build it in Lugar? Why would you run anything else? You're going to have to work your ass off to beat this thing on any other build, for the most part. If you're in 1v1. Great name. Oh my god, it's my build! Hello? I deserve it. Mate, could you drive away so that I can, you know, melee him and do half of my work? The Tritons. Jesus. I am sorry. Okay, and that is it for the Ajax Triton dog. As you guys can see in the games, it is incredibly powerful, and I really think that this cabin and the Tritons need a nerf. With the cabin itself, I just feel like all of its characteristics are just a little too good. The perk is the biggest one. I think that the fact that it's active a third of the time, you get 2 seconds of invulnerability, which I really disagree with. I do not believe invulnerability should exist in Crossout at all. But also the fact that if it takes damage, which the shield naturally will, because you can punch people in the face with the build, when it takes damage, you get 15% more, you get a damage buff essentially. I think that's too strong. I think the build itself, the profile of it, the fact that you can store a generator safely and it's got a very wide bed in combination with its speed and its just general like HP or its, you know, its mass limit, I think all of that is just a little too strong, and I feel like it just needs a general nerf across most of its stats, to be honest, because it's just too powerful at the moment. The really big issue I have with this cabin is that the game feels like it was in a very good place before this cabin came into the game, and I really do not want all of that goodwill to be thrown out the window and just everyone just sees, like, you know, a bunch of Ajax Triton dogs or Ajax something or other kind of polluting the game and just ruining everything, because the game's creativity has been very good this last week or so since the balance changes. So that's it for today's video, guys. I want to thank you all for watching, and I will catch you for tomorrow's video.